Hey everybody, this is a really special edition of Walkin' and Talking with Tim. We are sitting down today with Krista Collings, and we want to talk about, actually, we don't even want to talk about something in particular. I want Krista to be able to tell her story and to kind of start this thing out. This is a very important thing. This is a very sensitive thing. And so when you first told me about this, you know, you said that you ignored some signs that you didn't realize were signs. You just thought maybe, you know, you were sick and you were doing the I'm being tough, you know,
absolutely,
and you were pushing through, and finally you realized that something was really wrong, and you ended up at the doctors, and you got to the diagnosis of cancer.
Exactly.
And you kind of explained it to me like it was being hit like a truck.
Right.
It happened all at once, and there's nothing you could do about it, and you just had to just push forward and deal with this thing. So, you know, I guess, you know, how did you deal with that? How did you deal with just finding out, like, being hit by a truck?
Such a great question. I mean, first off, it was in April. I just got a normal mammogram. I knew something was wrong with me. I felt swollen. I kept gaining weight, and I was like, I haven't changed my diet. I went to a nutritionist to try to see, like, you know, is it something I'm eating that is ruining me here? But it wound up being that mammogram, and what the mammogram caught was a very swollen lymph node near under my armpit, believe it or not. So it was kind of a luck thing that was how it was caught, and that was April. And it took me at least till May to get to decent oncologists in the area, because cancer is not something that really runs in my family, so we don't really have.
And you didn't expect it either.
Yeah, and I had to ask people. Most of everyone was dealing with breast cancer. Mine was blood cancer, so it was kind of hard to. You don't realize, but these are like totally different cancers, and you got to go to the right person. Anyway, so in May they said, "Oh, you have small leukemia, lymphoma, and it's just something we have to wait and watch." So I'm like, oh, you know, I'm working, I'm still taking my kids, you know, places and doing all the things we're normally doing. And then all of a sudden one day I get blood work with who I finally chose, which was Cooper, MD Anderson, to I guess I had blood work done. Well, all of a sudden I get a frantic call, because I had done it at LabCorp. It takes a few hours to get your results. But I got a frantic call from this oncologist saying, you need to go to an emergency room, you're going to die. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought we were waiting. This is not waiting. So then I got rushed to the hospital. I don't remember half of what even happened there.
You're in fight or flight mode.
And luckily my husband drove, because I should not have drove myself. And we get there, and here it's my calcium is like off the charts. So I guess that was my watch and wait.
So that would lead me to this right here. So explain, tell everybody what exactly it is that you're dealing with.
Yeah. So to your point, you mentioned about the truck. One of the oncologists at Cooper had said, you know, the weirdest part about blood cancer is that you're going to look normal throughout this whole thing. Obviously I'm skinnier, not on purpose, but you know, it's not going to affect your appearance, even though you've literally been hit by a Mack truck and are in absolute agony inside. So it is, I can tell you, it is an agonizing cancer. There's not one day I wake up and I'm like, let's go on a marathon.
Right.
It's tiring. It's just draining. and it doesn't go away very easily. I happen to have, for better or worse, I have Richter's transformation. Most people with blood cancer just get their cancer in remission through chemo alone. So it was exciting when I got to ring the bell in December. But then for me, it's a transformation. So it's not going away with just chemo. I had to get, so I had to actually switch over to Penn Medicine because they had the treatment. I had to get CAR-T, which is a revolutionary thing. They actually take your cells.
How many rounds of chemo did you have?
I think we finally counted 8 because we got a couple because of that calcium.
Plus radiation.
I also had my knee radiated on because I had such excruciating pain. I could barely walk.
And all that was a precursor to the CAR-T.
All that was a precursor to the CAR-T.
Which is, you were already through the ringer.
Through so much. Yes, but
before you ever got to this point, right? So it's a lot. That was a lot.
I got to tell you that the chemo I got is the worst you can get. Like, people will tell you, I will pick any other chemo except that one. Somehow I was not overly sick. I feel like I was just overly in pain, and I feel like I hated the hospital stays because the hospital stays never ran on time. I always had to miss Halloween. I had to miss back to school night. I had to miss this because it's just such an intense thing that you start having like problems, like your blood pressure's flying up the charts. It's like more, again, it was all blood related. It wasn't so much like, nausea, let's just say.
So what was the hardest moment for you?
All of it has been so hard, but I think the hardest part is, I'm trying to get back to work, and it's like I can't give them a clear answer. I can't give.
There is no answer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's zero control.
It's got to be the most frustrating.
It is. There is zero control. It's like, okay, you're going to get your scan on March 15th. Oh, never mind. We're moving your something to blah, and then we're going to do April 15th for your scan. You're like, I have to wait now till April 15th to know what the heck's going on with me, if any of this is working. But the CAR-T is pretty cool. It does actually take your cells and reprograms them to be cancer fighters forever. So they'll never stop fighting cancer.
That's cool. That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So, and then of course, that didn't just seem to be strong enough. So then I had to get on this other recently approved FDA treatment, which is glofitamab, which I just finished my treatment yesterday. So far, I feel okay, but
just yesterday.
It's just yesterday.
So that's going to lead to the next question. What's kept you going all this time?
What has kept me going? Of course, my family. I mean, I have had so much. It's stupid stuff. It's like I'm not eating enough. I know I have to gain weight, and it's like forcing yourself to eat that last piece of chicken. You eat that last piece of chicken for Connor, or you eat that last piece of chicken for Caitlin, And it's just weird things like that just, the kids are just always on my mind, and I know they need me. I know my husband needs me too, whether he'll admit it or not. So, and I know work needs me.
And you need it.
And my family needs me.
We've had quite a few text conversations where I feel like you need work, like something different than what you're doing, right?
Yeah, my brain needs to be. I have a good brain on me right now, so it's funny because the one person in my family that has had cancer is my aunt, and she had brain cancer, so she was gone for her whole cancer treatment and everything. She was not there, and she said, I don't know if I could have done it if my brain was fully in the picture, because it's such a,
because you're always thinking about it, right?
It's such a crazy thing. So it's sort of a punishment to be all here, but at the
you're
same
here.
time, I've done a few
You're
fun
here.
things. Yes, I got an award, which was cool, and I got to do the women's conference the other day. So
What changed the most about you during this?
I became one confident queen. I'll just say queen because I can't think of another word, but you're not really putting me in the corner ever again.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, every time I speak to you, I think, I don't know how you're always so positive. You're always so forward thinking.
Thank you.
No matter when I've talked to you, you've been in the hospital, laying in bed, getting treatment. You're like, I feel like, oh my gosh. But you're still like, but I got this and I'm going to crush it.
Yes. And it's every time I think, okay, December, we got this. And then it's like, April, okay, we got this. But you just gotta believe. And I would say the other thing too is, I was always faith driven, right? Like I was raised Catholic, all of that. But I would say I've kind of drifted from like regular religious things and things like that. But my goodness, that my prayers are up there every day, and I feel like I'm closer than ever with God and anyone who is listening out there. And if you're not into God, that's okay. I just think that you do need somebody above you, to feel like they're driving you forward. And I've seen some examples, whether I just wanted to see them, I don't know, but I feel a presence.
But you're a fighter.
Thank you.
I mean, you're a true fighter. I mean, I've not had one single conversation with you where I didn't feel just a sneer coming out of you, like I'm not going to let this thing get me.
Absolutely, it's not. And I don't only do it for myself. I do it for anyone who wants to hear my story and feel some sort of, I hate to say miracle because that's probably exaggerated, but just an inspiring story.
So what would you tell someone who is going through this right now?
I would say, do not give up. And if you're feeling like you're going to, you call me. I will bring you right back because you're not giving up. You're going to eat that last piece of chicken. That's what you're going to do.
Like you're taking a ticket at the
yeah,
deli.
Sometimes you just have to really advocate for yourself. And that's what I do. I look at my numbers before my team does.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, guys, you got to make time for me. So
I think that was the point that day.
Yeah.
You kind of said to me, you're not going to let anybody tell you how to live your life anymore.
Exactly. That was exactly what I was telling you. I'm never going to get pushed around when I know it's wrong. I certainly will.
Especially when you're fighting like this.
Yeah, I'll be kind to everybody. I'm always kind. I try to bring joy to everywhere I go, but I'm not going to be stepped on,
So that leads us to, what message do you want people to take away from your experiences with all of this? Because this is not the norm. As we sit here on your beautiful back deck,
which we can finally enjoy because it's decent.
It's actually it's a gorgeous day, thank God, right?
Yeah.
And you get to enjoy this. So what is the message you want people to take away from your experience so far with this whole thing? Because it's just,
I would just say
it's bigger than everybody.
Yeah, my priorities in my life have always been to try to be the best version of myself. But one area I was neglecting was my health. I mean, I just wasn't prioritizing it enough. At some point, I just feel like I got so overwhelmed by all the things on my plate that it just got kind of set to the side. And other people became the top priorities. But checkups will save your life. I still believe that mammogram, I was trying to figure out what was going on with me out. The mammogram saved my life. And, I've really come to a beautiful place. Like, I don't sit and watch TV all day and stuff like that. Like, I really think about my life and what I've done right, what I've done wrong. I mean, what else do I have to do? So just protect your time, protect your energy. Don't let people step on you. You don't have to have a big health crisis to have that happen to you. You should just you should just do it anyway, you know, and just realize time is so limited. Spend it with the people that you truly love. Be faithful, because you need somebody every once in a while, somebody bigger than you. And also lean on people. Like, that has been the worst part for me, when people were coming at me like, you want me to make you a meal? You want me to, you know, give you money? I'm like, give me money? Like, what are we talking about here? But I mean, the stress levels that we have as a family been under for almost 12 months now, I can't even imagine doing it by myself. I can't imagine not letting people in to help me.
I think people look at from the outside looking in. I think people could look at you and say, oh, well, Krista looks fine. He's got a nice house in Mullica Hill. But the reality is, you know, when the paycheck stops, when the money stops, when your world stops, the question is, will you be able to sustain? Will you be able to stay here? Will you have to uproot your family? Will you have to leave? Will you have to, all these things that you've got to now think about and try to plan for. So, you know, I know you're not a huge fan of it, because you know, you just started to say it, but there is a GoFundMe for Krista, and we are going to attach it, because it is important for people to know about that as well. Because it is important that if anybody wants to help out, then that's up to them. It has nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, your message is important. Your story is important for people to understand, and just sitting here with you and knowing you like I do, you know, because we became friends really good friends while we were in the Woodbury Chamber together and running things together. And, you know, it's just something about those connections you make, you know, and they last, right? You know, when you click with somebody and you're like, that's a good person here.
That's what it is.
And
find your people.
Yeah, you find your tribe, right? And you are one of the kindest humans I've ever met.
Thank you.
And I think that anybody out there watching would totally agree with me. #kind, right? And comment all the good things you know about Krista. So to give Krista even more energy and more encouragement to fight this thing and keep on moving and keep on pushing as she needs to, because, you know, I think you need everything you can get.
Absolutely.
All the artillery, bring it.
Yes, this is true.
Fill the arsenal.
It's true, and you know, hopefully April 15th currently are my scans, and I hope to have great news for everyone. So, you know, I'm very much holding on to this being a big deal.
All right, that's good stuff.
And I hope to be able to, you know, with all that I've gone through, and I've opted into tons of research things while at the hospital so that they could have samples that they needed and blah, blah, blah. And I kept saying to myself, somehow I'm going to make it easier on the next person that gets this horrible disease. So, and I did the light the night to try to help the blood cancer, because honestly, before I got diagnosed, I never even heard of it. So,
Me either.
So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for saying it, and I think people needed to hear it. I'm glad you did it here. I'm glad you did it today, and what a great day we had. What a beautiful day.
Yes.
I mean, like, to your point, just look around. It's gorgeous today, and just enjoy it, you know?
I will.
And to everybody out there watching, thanks for watching, you know, and like I said, we'll put the links that are important about what's going on with Krista in the comments, and we will see you next time, right? On Walkin' and Talkin' with Tim, when Krista's walking around with me, maybe even running with me.
I'll be running.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you later. Peace out.